This is the Padua Podcast Network.
And it's just, I mean, it's like I feel like I'm becoming what I hate, sitting here in this beautiful view, texting somebody. But
Running Fever, episode 156, Mount Nebo, part 2.
As I cross another stream here, I don't know if it's safe to drink the water, but I'm really thirsty. It smells like somebody's making catfish. And I see a pool here. And I think this is the official park pool, actually. And that's the noise that I hear outside my cabin. Kind of annoying. So the good thing is that you have these fabulous views. The bad thing is that, of course, people are, have every right to just walk right next to your house in your backyard, pretty much. So I walk by, I'm seeing people out grilling. They're nice. They'll wave to you and everything. And it's not a bad trade-off. We went on that Skull Creek Trail down in Fayetteville. It's a similar situation. We got some nice homes there that butt up against some trees, but it's also a trail. So anyway, we're getting a pretty good workout here today. This must be Sunset Point. No? Well, the sun's not setting over here. Pretty close though. Well, anyway, it's a campground. I don't see any markers that say sunset. But I'm walking pretty close to the road that I drove up the mountain on. And like I said, it's just one road going up the mountain, switchbacks left and right. So you have U-turns and 180-degree U-turns that you're going back and forth until you get up to the top. And this is a big campground. There's a lot of picnic tables and grills, and there are people set up with their RVs, and I've seen some people with tents. But it's not chock full, It's a Tuesday in late April, and I'm actually going to cross the road right here. That's where the rim trail goes. Across this road. And boy, do I appreciate all those hardworking men from the 30s down on their luck and really building this amazing place that has now lasted almost 90 years and still giving enjoyment to so many people. Well, hopefully it'll start getting cooler because the sun is on the other side at this point. Of course, we'll be coming into it soon enough. Oh, yeah, living up to its strenuous name here. Well, subject-wise, topically, I'm kind of meandering all over the place. Oh, I got several ways to go here. And another amazing view. And this is why I like the fact that I can rent a cabin right there, and just sit there and enjoy that view for hours if I want to. And what I've been doing is sitting there, either outside or at the little table, the dining table there. It's not that little, it's a full-size dining table, I guess. Probably seat about 6. And I'm happily writing away on my laptop, which is not connected to the internet, by the way. And there's a tree right in the way here. Should I choose to go under it? This looks a lot easier than going around it. Wow. But those rocks are loose, man. I mean, really. Well, it looks like the trail goes down even more here. So I like to sit there writing, and then, you know, when I get to the end of a sentence or a paragraph or a thought, I can just look up and see the beautiful landscape in the distance. And it just gives me not so much inspiration, because I'm not really necessarily writing about this, but it gives me an inspiration of a different sort. Just inspiration of giving me the peace of mind, the clarity of mind, not clouded by distractions. Distractions are my enemy, and I have been able to focus on what I came here to do, at least for the first 24 hours. Oh, I saw a little, just as I was about to say, well, I sure would like to see a yellow blaze right now. I saw a yellow blaze. Hate to get off the trail and get lost my first time around. Of course, that's when I'm most likely to get lost. Oh, there's actually some grass right here. Boy, who has to come down here with the weed eater? There's little springs coming through here. You can hear it kind of bubbling. It's just kind of coming out of the rock. It's not really streaming. The rocks are just wet and gurgling. Maybe a drop here and there. I see all these nice little purple flower-like things on the ground. I hope this is safe water, because I'm gonna have to get some of it in my mouth here. Oh yeah. I got some junk rain down on my head there too. Yeah, if there's any pollution, I'm sure it's from humans at the top of the mountain. Oh yeah. Certainly quite the workout, not the just brisk evening saunter that I was expecting. But I think we're making progress. Well, it's not even 7 o'clock yet. So I'm just gonna slow down. Enjoy the view. Chicken houses. It's a ubiquitous feature in Arkansas. Not necessarily near cities, although you can still see unused ones near the cities. And actually, in my town, you can, right down the street from a Fortune 100 company, you can see cows in a pasture. The chicken houses are a little more offensive, if you can imagine such a thing. All right, one trail goes up, one goes down. One says red, one says yellow. I'm gonna take the up road, take the high road. You take the high road, I'll take the low road. I'll read Scotland for ye. So, meandering back to my writing topic and reading. Last night was Faulkner. Today, after I finished my morning writing session, it was fairly productive. All right, back online here and getting saddled up after a little rest. Sat down here for a few minutes and just cooled off. Really, that's all I wanted to do. And the mountain is forgiving enough. The Lord granted me a few slow, cool breezes to help me cool off. And I'm back on the trail. The strenuous part of the trail. But if you're thinking of coming to Mount Nebo, there are plenty of easier options. including the longest trail, I believe, is the easiest one. I'm not sure which one that is. Maybe the bench trail, I'm not sure. But you can easily find out by going to the Arkansas State Park websites. I'll definitely have some links up there and pictures, and I'm going to actually have some entries in my writing blog at davisfalk.com, so there will definitely be some pictures there of the cabin and the scenery, and some nice links there, and a sort of journal of my time here, whatever I choose to write down about that. It's a pleasant, enjoyable time for me, so I'm really happy to share that with anybody who wants to read or listen. It's taken me a really long time to get through the writing story, the writing part of this. Today's reading, that's what I did this afternoon when I noticed how kind of warm it was and set my sights on doing the sunset walk. As I decided to read all afternoon, I read Eudora Welty. It's another Mississippi writer like Faulkner from Jackson, Mississippi. Writer and photographer, novelist and essayist. Very much acclaimed, Pulitzer Prize winning. Anyway, this is one of her 5 novels. It's called Losing Battles, and it's really a family reunion, get together, and telling of a lot of stories. So it's kind of a stories within a story. Everybody getting together and all the stories they tell. Maybe you've had family reunions like that. Or you get around and just tell stories. There's somebody new in the bunch, you tell them some secret story, maybe a little bit embarrassing. Seems to be the way it is for me. Whew, this is probably like 40 degree, maybe 45 degree incline here. Pretty tough, pretty strenuous, and there's some sort of animal scurrying around to my right. Too fast for me to see them. Kind of reminds me of Queen Wilhelmina. I mean, unless you really just go, I mean, you have to stop to really take in the scenery. Oh, there's some parts of this trail that are not so treacherous that you can't just kind of walk along and look up every now and then. And there's just a flat. And I think this is what I see from my cabin. It's very similar though. It's just kind of a hill with green trees, and then at the top it's all cleared out. Like a landing strip. There's nothing there. Good place to go fly my drone, maybe. If it's open to the public. Oh, really thirsty. If you come here in April, bring water. In fact, it's probably a good idea to bring water every time you go on a hike of any length. It's just a little more strenuous than my 5-point screw 5-mile walk in Lake Fayetteville. You know, that's another thing I didn't even think of. This is the first walk of any length since my ankle injury, and I haven't even thought about my ankle, really. Maybe once this whole time, just in passing, making sure that I was aware of it, but hasn't been a problem at all, so. My scare of being forever. Of course, it was kind of stiff when I woke up this morning, but doing fine now. There's a big rock formation right above me here. Oh yeah. Nice breeze here and a view. Purple flowers all around. And I know this is crazy, but I'm going to send this to somebody. I'm actually going to try to send this to somebody. I know it's crazy. And it's just, I mean, I feel like I'm becoming what I hate, sitting here in this beautiful view, texting somebody. But, it's just, I kind of understand now. It's you want to share it with somebody, and I'm alone here, so why not virtually share it with someone? All right, I think that was my first Facebook post from my phone. So, yes, I've officially become one of those people. Okay. Feels like I'm the only one on the trail. Obviously I've passed people that are camping and staying here, and it's so clear. I'm looking out, and it's just, the air is clear. Not completely out in the distance. It gets kind of hazy, but several miles. I can see right down below me how green the trees are. It's April. And spring is fresh and new. I get the feeling this probably has something to do with where we are and the altitude, and also probably being away from, we're not super way out in the country, but there's no big cities nearby. Even big like my area is big, not even that big. So tonight I'll probably continue reading Eudora Welty's novel, Losing Battles. Again, I'm a slow reader, so no chance of me getting through the whole thing. Probably even if I stayed up all night. But the Faulkner book is actually shorter. It seems like it's a smaller format, and pretty thin too. Tomorrow, who knows? I could return to Faulkner. I've got several more books, far more than I could read in a week. That's just the way I am. I always have plenty of books and never seem to get through them all, which is probably better than not having enough books. And I rarely can concentrate on one to the exclusion of others. And it's kind of good to get some inspiration from different sources. So I might choose a non-Southern writer tomorrow. I have a Harold Bell Wright book, and I also have Tale of Two Cities, which actually I might start that one tonight. Actually, I've already started it. But it's, kind of dim on this side, and I think I'm coming around the end really close. And sunset's in about half an hour, so should be getting close. Yellow blaze, so I'm still on the right track here. And the writing, this morning's writing, so one of the things I do is I didn't want to spend the week editing or rewriting. I wanted to actually write something new, but I didn't have a real solid idea to start from. And of course, it brings me to my first rule of writing, and that is the first step in writing anything is to start writing. Not to think about it, not to research it, not to outline it, but to just start writing it. And then of course you rewrite. But the first step is to start writing it. But fortunately I had an idea that wasn't fully fleshed out, and probably 2/3 of a story. And I got it to a point of, so I fleshed it out to a possible ending. Again, you have to rewrite. Oh, so that was a good kind of a compromise. All right, and there's the sun. So I must be near sunset point. Just in time. Looks like we might have some clouds obscuring the sunset, or enhancing it, depending on how you want to look at it. But I can see the sun. Now, as to what I will write tomorrow morning, I don't know. I me to start writing. It's a good way to do it, I think. Just write a word down. Or I do have a number of ideas that I've made notes on in the past, and may start one of those if I like it. It's another little spring, it looks like, coming out of the rock. Betsy says, you know, if I'd thought about it for very long, I probably wouldn't have come on such a challenging trail with my ankle. Still in the latter stages of healing. So I'm glad I didn't think about it. I just did it. Sometimes that's just the best thing. And beautiful. It's really easy to get hurt right here. These jagged rocks. Not exactly flat. And there are trees growing right on the edge of the mountain here. It was carved into a rock. Waterfall straight down the mountain. Sunrise point right in the direction where I was coming from. You normally don't expect the trail that you're walking on to be nearly as interesting as this is. But you go on walking between these rocks that must weigh thousands of pounds. And there are pine trees right in the middle of them. And it's just gorgeous. And then I'm going by a cabin. It looks a lot like my cabin. Oh, crossing the most significant little stream, creek, brook, whatever you want to call it, water thing I've seen thus far. And strenuous, go up or down. The yellow trail says go up. And this has got to be Sunset Point. This is looks like several trails here. As the summer goes on, move farther north. Right now there's a tree kind of blocking the view. There's a great view anyway, but about where the sun would be. If it weren't so cloudy. I think it would be productive. It's beneficial to have a place up here. I think I could easily come here every weekend if I wanted to. Go down on Friday, go back Sunday night. You know, because I think I'm going to be working a regular job this foreseeable future. There's a good chance I'm not going to spend a number of my weekends in town, but this is so amazing so far. This makes me want to stay here. I don't know if I'll be that, but that's what vacation is supposed to be, I think. You know, it's supposed to be good enough that you really don't want to go back. Maybe it's just, but I mean, at least while I'm here. First 24 hours, pretty good. Oh, it's nice and breezy now. It's perfect temperature. If I only had some water, that would be just fine. Should be back at a historic registry cabin number 65, built by the CCC in the 1930s. Pretty soon. Yeah, and I could probably grab some firewood here too. Should probably do that. Grab a log. You say, no, I bought some firewood. This might not be legal, but I haven't seen any prohibitions. So if I'm not too far from my lodging, then I will carry this there. So I was saying, I bought some firewood, probably enough for one fire. Not that I need a fire. And when I say fire, of course, my fireplace is locked, but I am allowed to have an outdoor fire, and there's a fire pit. Didn't bring any marshmallows. That would have been a good thing to do. There's a place with a park bench up here. I think I'm gonna leave this log. Yeah, I could live out here. Could ride all morning. Read all afternoon. Come out hiking. Work up an appetite. And then grill some nice meat for dinner. Summit Park Trail. You know, Summit Park was the trail is named after a hotel that was here, and it burned down in very early 20th century, just after the turn of the century, and for financial reasons was not rebuilt. But they had people really knew how to have fun back in 120 years ago. I mean, there was like a pool, a bowling alley. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff up here. In addition to just, camping and hiking and all that. But this is quite the vacation spot. Probably for the very well-to-do, but nonetheless, it was available. Speaking of well-to-do, I recently started reading a book that's co-authored by the guy who wrote the Real Age book back in 1999 that I've talked so much about. And this one is co-written by a financial expert. There's some interesting things in there that are rather new to me, despite the fact that I've done a lot of study in finance. And I guess another source that they referenced said that point at which money makes you happy is an income of $75,000 a year. That's it. So anything more than that, it just doesn't make me really happy. Oh, there's a runner sharing the trail with one other person. Oh, and now I'm back at the cabin. And no place was marked Sunset Point. Well, I have a pretty good idea it was the place where that tree was kind of blocking the view. Well, hope you've enjoyed this. And I may make additional recordings this week. But, man, I got the fever for the great outdoors this week. See you next time.